And while people visited the polls this week, a concern for voters, election judges, and city clerks was safety. In Blaine, there was an effort to get PPE in the polling place. Election judges were stationed behind plexiglass, and voters received masks if they didn't bring them with. Danica Peterson visited a polling place to learn more.
Polling places looked a little different on primary election day.
Any little thing that we could think of that would help protect in the polling place on that day.
Cities received money from the Secretary of State to provide additional protections in the polling place. In Blaine, this money bought barriers, hand sanitizer, and cleaning supplies. City leaders and election judges also took time to plan movement and spacing.
What we've done here is space the tables as far apart as possible, and then we had to go as far as to place the election judges as far apart as possible too, so that took more space to do that.
With the additional materials and the additional concerns, setting up at polling places began early.
All of our judges were able to access the polling places yesterday on Monday and do that setup the day before, so they had time to think about all those things and not try to do that, early Tuesday morning on Election Day. Sorensen
has been running through scenarios and ideas for safe voting for months.
The hardest part, I think, has just been trying to plan for something that you don't know is what's really going to happen. Is the turnout in the polling place going to be high? I don't know. Is the polling place, is everybody going to be voting absentee? Not sure. There are folks that, still want to have that experience voting in the polling place on Election Day. So we prepped for, pretty high traffic, even kind of knowing that that might not have happened, but we wanted to be ready.
Sorensen plans to survey election judges about what worked well and what still needs improvement before the general election.
It was a good dress rehearsal, so to speak, for the November election. Now we know what is needed, tweaks that we can do before November so that we're ready, because then we absolutely expect higher turnout, of course, but it's all been great stuff to put in place. I don't see any of this changing anytime soon, and I think it's really good. I think it's very good measures to put in place to help protect our voters and our judges.
For North Metro TV News, Danica Peterson reporting.
Polling places were slow this year as many people chose to vote absentee. The primary had about a 20% voter turnout in Blaine. More than half of those votes were absentee. City leaders cannot remember a time when the absentee vote outpaced the in-person vote. The city may add some type of drive-through voting for the general election to give voters more options.